some live streaming. I have my admin team here with me this evening. I'm Sarah Alexander, I'm the superintendent. I have Mr. Jason Keys down here on the end, he's the middle school principal. Mr. Larry Peter is the athletic director and the dean of students. Ms. Debbie Atkinson is the elementary principal, and Ms. Amy Curtis is the high school principal. And we hope that you're here tonight to learn a little bit more about a new program that we have at Bergman. This school has been very, very successful for a lot of years, educating whoever showed up at our door in a face-to-face setting. And some things in the world have changed a little bit, and we hope that they're only for a very short period of time. But we knew that we had to change gears a little bit to try to meet the needs of some kids who didn't really feel like they could show up face-to-face maybe on our campus. They wanted some other kind of an option. And instead of Bergman just saying, okay, you guys need to homeschool, you're on your own, we're trying to put out a program for kids who don't feel comfortable coming back to school just yet. It's our high hope that you do at some point feel comfortable coming back, because I think everybody up here with me really agrees that we can offer you, your child, a much better education face-to-face than we can through one of these computers. But if all we can get right now is to try to offer you something through digital, then we're going to try to put out the best platform, the best content, the best help that we can. Ms. Amy Curtis has made a PowerPoint for us to talk about Bergman and digital learning this year. This is going to be for kids who, like I said, were traditionally homeschoolers. Now, the advantage of this over homeschooling is we're going to be able to offer you a few more things. I'm going to let Amy come and talk us through the PowerPoint.
Thank you. Good evening. I'm so glad y'all are here today. So we have, I might have to stand over here. So our digital learning is going to allow students to learn off campus in their home environment. Students will be provided a Chromebook in 9 through 12. We already have a Chromebook 1-to-1 in our high school, and for the digital platform, we will extend that down. If you are choosing with elementary or with middle school, you'll get a Chromebook. And if you need internet, you'll also have internet access. Our digital learning will be in high school. We will use Apex, and it is a self-paced online program that will allow students to receive their credits so they can still be on track to graduate if they choose to come back to school. It's a program that's been around for several years and used all over the nation. Typically, in the past, we've used it for credit recovery, but it's also really good for just instruction. High school will also use Virtual Arkansas. We will use that in a limited manner, mainly for more of our AP classes and things that Apex does not offer. Middle school through 6th through 8th grade will also use Apex, and then in 5th grade they'll use Lincoln Learning. In elementary school, they will have the teacher-created materials through Google Classroom. We're going to walk through each of those here in just a second. This is Apex, apexlearning.com. So if you just can go to apexlearning.com, there's lots of information, videos, tutorials, testimonials, blogs about Apex and all of the things that it can help your students do. It's a flexible instruction. It allows you and your student, if they want to do 3 lessons in one day, they can do 3 lessons in one day. You don't have to stay on pace day by day with Apex. It's a user-friendly program. It has a wide variety of courses, and it's also interactive. It's not strictly videos, answer the question type of thing. I'm going to show some screenshots. Oh, wait. Apex has all of our core classes, foreign languages, It is limited on electives and CTE courses. That's why high school has chosen to retain Virtual Arkansas in some pieces for our digital learners. So this is just a screenshot. If you're in geometry, this is what it would look like. It's easy, user-friendly. Even I can use it, so that's really good. So this is a unit or a chapter, what we would sometimes call. You can see with the round dots all of your lessons, the different things that you have to progress through, and it'll show you if you're in progress, if you're not ready for the next step. Apex also has for all students, they have audio enabled, so it can read that to you, it can read the text to you, it can read the prompt, and it also has very clear objectives for what each lesson and interactive section works on. There are options. The study guide has an extra study guide, there's extra practice available, and then it's interactive. So at the bottom, if we were in Apex and we were using this, we would drag and drop to match those terms with the examples. And I'm a math teacher, so that's why I gravitated a little bit more towards math. Bergman Middle School is choosing Lincoln Learning, and I'll turn it over to Ms. Jolene Harris. She's our digital coordinator for our district now in K-12, and she has done some research for our Lincoln Learning.
Like Virtual Arkansas, Lincoln Learning is pretty interactive. It's very easy to use. They have, instead of units in a chapter, they have its. And you get to go watch it, and then you get to practice it, and you get to do it, and it's all interactive. And it makes it fun for the kids to be able to do. It is also got a place where you can listen to the lessons instead of read them yourself, and it's got videos. It's not been used in Arkansas. It's the one that the state is recommending. So there's not a lot of information about how it's going to work, but I've done some of the lessons, and I've had my kids do some of the practice lessons, and they look to be fairly user-friendly and easy to do. My kids are not 5th grade, but my high schooler can do the high school lessons, and my elementary kid can do the elementary lessons. So it's pretty easy. I think it will be fun.
When we were looking at all the programs that are available for us to choose from, when we were looking at all the programs, elementary, the foundation is built and laid for the success they're going to have in middle school, high school, and elementary. So we, having them in the classrooms is definitely best. Especially kindergarten and first graders, they do not know how to read yet. So a digital platform is it's kind of scary. So if you have a kindergartner or a first grader and you're thinking about this, just know that it will take a lot of support from you because they do not have any foundation to just be able to do the work on their own. So when we were talking about this, the elementary teacher said they wanted more control over, helping the students and making sure the students were getting what they needed. So we are going to put lessons from the classroom that the teachers are doing on Google Classroom. There's going to be a training if you decide to do it. We're going to bring you in, give you the laptop, and show you how you log in. And the kids will know how to do that. Our 3rd and 4th graders have been. They've used Google Classroom already for certain assignments, different things throughout the school years. But Ms. Harris will show you how to log in, and we are going to work with our blended learners, which are the kids that are going to come to school, but if we get shut down for some reason, we're going to go to this same digital platform that the kids have that are going digital, if that makes sense. So the kids will know how to log on if they have come to school for any amount of time. We will show that. But the teachers are going to create the lessons. We are going to use the same math program that we use here at school because the math has an online piece. There's virtual lessons. We're going to give you the materials we have at school that the kids use. So our hope is, like Ms. A said, at some point, we hope that school is back as normal as it can be and everybody is back at school. And if you are doing the digital at home and you decide you want your child to come back, we want to make the transition back into the classroom just as easy and as flawless, seamless as it can be. So that is why what we're going to be doing is they're going to be getting the same lessons that the lessons are in the classroom. Again, elementary will take more parent support than that, but there will also be support if you have a problem and you need help. You're going to contact Ms. Harris, and if she can't answer the question or help, then your child will still be assigned to a classroom teacher. So like if they're going to be in third grade, there's going to be a third grade digital teacher that will be the one that is communicating with the parents of the digital students. So if there's something you need help with, and like I said, Jolene can't help you, then she will contact the teacher and get that. So we're still going to have that support for you there.
So as we're putting this presentation together, we're trying to determine what questions might come up. So we have a few, but as we're going through this, if you have a question, jot it down, and we want to be sure and answer those questions for you as well. So with Apex, it is, like I said before, it's self-paced, so they'll be able to do multiple lessons in one day. Every week they will log in, or they will be in contact with Ms. Harris, and they'll say, okay, we're going to do all of our lessons Monday through Wednesday. So she knows they're not going to be logged in on Thursday and Friday because they've already done their lessons. She's going to make sure that they're on pace so they can receive credits for their classes that they're in. Yes.
That made me think of something. What we're going to do in elementary, there will be 5 days of lessons uploaded, like the week's lessons will be uploaded, and you can do those lessons at any time that week. You don't have to get online at 8 o'clock in the morning or do them. If you can do 2 or 3 days worth in one day or in the evening or on the weekend, we're going to go through, like you'll have Monday through Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then she is going to get on Monday, the following Monday, and check. And if the 5 days have been completed, then they get credit for being in school for 5 days. So you can do them whenever is convenient for you, as long as those 5 days worth of lessons are complete by the following Monday.
Thank you. So here are some of our things that we have posed in a question form. When can I switch modes of learning? And that means if I start out digital and I'm going to be at home and I'm learning at home, and I get 2 weeks into it and think, this is not for me, it's not appropriate for our situation at home anymore, and we would like to transition back into school, we are strongly encouraging you, once you choose your platform, whether it's face-to-face or digital, to stay in that for 9 weeks. However, we know situations are going to come up and things are going to happen where you need to switch. And contact your building principal and we can help you. It's a process. We have to make sure, if you are a digital student, that you have completed the lessons that will get you caught up in your class if you return to school face-to-face. Does that make sense? Make sure that you're on track.
Elementary is going to be easier.
Ms. Atkins said elementary will be easier to keep up with.
Or come back.
Or to come back.
Wait 9 weeks.
You don't have to wait 9 weeks in elementary. Thank you. I'm sorry, Ms. Atkins.
It's okay. Come back.
She wants them back. Safety and security features. Every Chromebook that we have still has the GoGuardian filter, which we use on all our Chromebooks here at school. If you have the school-provided Wi-Fi, which is through T-Mobile, they also have additional filters for your students when they are on their Chromebooks. Do I have to come to school? Okay. Students are required to come to school periodically to test in our digital classroom. The tests may include, but are not limited to, the STAR screeners. We get that 3 times a year. And it's to see if your students are reading on grade level, how they're progressing through the year, how they are progressing compared to last year. The ACT Aspire summative assessments, that's our assessments that we take in April. The ACT is for 11th graders, that happens in February. The civics exam this year will be for 11th and 12th graders, because last year we weren't able to take it for the 12th grade class, and that's a requirement for graduation. And then course exams as needed. So in some of Virtual Arkansas and Apex classes, especially for high school, when you come to the end of your 9 weeks or your semester, sometimes you have to come in and get a special code, password, that's the word I'm looking for you to be able to unlock that test. That will not be an occurrence every week. It's probably at the end of every 9 weeks and semester for sure to come in to test. Her digital classroom is located in Old Main. Old Main, also known as the admin building. If you come down Main Street, it's the most beautiful building on our campus. And if you come up the ramp in the back, you'll walk into the auditorium, and then it's the old boardroom, or when I was in school, it was Coach Howard's computer room. It's probably been a ton of different things. It used to be the library, that's right. Sorry, I got myself. Are your students still Bergman students? Yes, absolutely, they're still Bergman students. Virtual students are not considered to be homeschool students, so we are still providing your education. You're still our kid. If you need help, Ms. Harris is going to be able to provide weekly contact with your student or with you. Age appropriate is going to have to play into that. For the littler kids, she's going to talk to parents. For the high school kids, it might be an email exchange with the student and with the parent also. If you need help, if you're taking an Algebra 2 course and it's just not working out and you are stuck, Ms. Harris has a college degree in chemistry. Yes. Okay. And she is able to help with those higher level math and science classes. So we can reach out to her. We have all of our teachers on staff for any grade level that you're able to reach out to. You can get with Jolie and say, hey, we need more help in physical science, biology, and she can get you to the appropriate teacher to help answer those questions. Will there be AMI packets? No. No, they're not paper packets. This is not a paper packet situation. That was an emergency that was used last year. It was a Band-Aid that got us through in that emergency, and this year we are moving to a digital platform. Attendance is based on the timely completion of all of the assignments. Like Ms. Atkinson said earlier, if they complete their work during that week, the following Monday, they will be counted present. Next steps. If you would like for your student to be a digital student, contact your building principal, Coach Keys, Mr. Keys, myself, and then Ms. Atkinson. We will get your information and send it to Ms. Harris, and she will call you to make an appointment to come in. There's several things we've got to get. We have to have Chromebook waivers signed. We have to have your registration paperwork correct. We have to be able to get you that Chromebook. So you'll need your student and an adult, a parent guardian, to come in to sit down so we know you can get logged in, that You have all the information that you need, and we'll get you logged in that day to the system so you can see what it looks like and move through the courses. We will have appointments starting on August 12th through the 21st. That's all I have for this time.
So I know that was a whole lot of information, real fast. And I know that you may not be prepared right now to make a split decision, yes, I want to do it, or no, I want to think about it. And you may even have more questions. If you have more questions right now, I will attempt to answer, or I can get someone on my team to answer. If we don't know the answer to your question right now, we're going to find out and get back with you. We're hoping to post questions, Q&A, on our website, on our school website. So the question was for elementary, if you could get Monday through Friday's assignments turned in by the following Sunday, is that good enough?
Yes.
Yes. Good question. Yes. Yes. Great question. If we notice, if you notice, if you notice that someone is falling behind and you make contact the following week and she's going to say, hey, I've noticed you haven't turned in any assignments for a week, what's going on? And you say, I've been sick with the flu or been sick with whatever, then yes, you'll get extra days to complete your assignments.
Got one over here.
Yes. What the classes are going to look like. Very good question. Okay, so what we're doing on campus used to be 100% face-to-face. And then sometime over the last couple of years, we kind of shifted to this AMI, where if we had a snow day, we could say, okay, we're using AMI day number 1. And kids knew, okay, I've got my packet, I need to pull it down off the top of the refrigerator, and I need to do day number 1. Okay, this is kind of like that on steroids. It's called blended learning, and it's not just for snow days. It's for, I pray that it's only for snow days. But it could be for, we got shut down for 14 days for sickness. It could be, we got shut down 3 days to deep clean. It could be the electricity's off. And we're just going to switch, we hope seamlessly, from face-to-face instruction to the kids picking up their Chromebook, getting online, getting in Google Classroom, that we're going to try to teach them as quickly as we can when we get them there.
What I really was asking is if we come to face-to-face learning instead of digital learning,
Yes.
what is the classroom going to look like? Is it going to be separated by alphabet? How's it going to work?
The first 2 days, we're going to separate by alphabet. I think A through L, and families that are connected to living in the same household with A through L will come on that first day, and we'll run through our classes, run through procedures, because it's going to look a little different. The second day, we're going to do M through Z, and they're going to do that, and then on the third day, we hope to bring everybody in. Traffic is going to be a little bit crazy, because we have, well, it's a little bit crazy the first week of school anyway. But this year, we're anticipating that that's going to be ramped up a little bit, because people are a little bit nervous about the school bus. It's a confined area, and it's a lot of different ages of kids, and so people right now are trying to think about different ways to get their kids to and from school. So we're anticipating a little bit more time with the traffic. The principals and the counselors have all worked really hard. We're trying to get our class size down as low as we can get it. Because if you're a 4th through 12th grade student, then the governor has pretty much told us, if you can't social distance, you got to mask on. So we're trying to get our class size down to, if we can get it somewhere in the 15 wheelhouse, then kids can be like you are right now because you're 6 feet away from people and they don't have to wear them. There are going to be some times where they're not going to be able to do that. I know that Jason and Amy have worked really hard and they've come up with, I think, a way to have multiple lunch periods so we can get the numbers way down in the lunchroom and spread kids out. I know that they've looked at staggering the times that classes let out so there's not as many people in the hallways at one time. They've been very creative and worked very hard. I know Debbie's really looking at different ways for the 4th grade because they just kind of got caught up in that crazy 10 or under thing. And she's looking at ways to get that class size number down so they don't have to wear masks all day. We're trying to do the very best that we can for the kids. Yes, sir.
What about assembly of the morning? Kids come in, are they going to be like always been, or the classroom?
I'm going to I think it's a little bit different in every building, so I'm going to let them tell you what's going on in their building.
So in middle school, what we're looking at is they're coming in, they're grabbing a breakfast, and then they're going to their first period class. That's going to cut out the congregation in the cafeteria. I think high school's doing the same thing. We've looked at several things to do. We've looked at high school coming in here and middle school taking over the cafeteria. We've looked at several options. We just feel like the best option is they can come in the cafeteria, get a breakfast, and then go to the first period class. Teachers are going to be there. They're going to be on duty in the classroom. They're going to let the kids eat. They're not going to start class right away. They're going to let the kids eat, get the breakfast finished, and then start the class period as soon after, and then Debbie will.
For us, we have boys and girls dropped off pretty early in the morning, and we're still going to unlock the cafeteria and allow that. But we're going to change our bus times because we cannot have all the kids in the cafeteria like we've always done. So our buses, we have talked to them, and they're going to unload at the middle school and high school first. And then they're not going to unload at elementary till about 5 till 8, which is when teachers will be in their classrooms. So when the boys and girls that ride a bus to school get off the bus, they're going to go directly to the classrooms. And then the kids that have been dropped off in the mornings, it depends on, I guess I'll have to see what my numbers are, but my thought is there will not be so many of them that we can't spread them out in the cafeteria and not have them sitting right on top of each other. So we will just have the car riders in the cafeteria in the morning, spaced out the best that we can. And then the buses, when they unload, will go right to class. And we've been doing the breakfast in the classroom for the last couple of years. So once they get to class, they'll have their breakfast in the classroom like they always have.
Was there another part of it that you wanted to know about? No? Yes.
So are those options coming to school full time or do we use the learning like there's not a limit, there's a couple days and stay on a couple days?
We're not doing that.
Will you repeat that?
Yes. The question was, is there a third option? Is there an option to stay home 2 days a week and come 3 days a week? Okay. The logistics of trying to get our class size down, we really need to know who's going to be here. And we need to be able to plug in those slots because we've worked very hard to try to get our teaching staff size where it needs to be and not too big, not really knowing that this was coming, and it might be nice to have a few more teachers around somewhere, and just the logistics of preparing meals, things like that make that 2-day, 3-day thing really complicated. Now, I'm saying that with the knowledge that this whole thing is changing very rapidly. And almost completely since it started in March. If the state comes down with some sort of an option where they would like A through L to come Mondays and Wednesdays, and M through Z to come on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then, you know, do the odd Friday and the even Friday thing, we would look at that. It's problematic for K-4 kids. Legally, children under 10 are not supposed to stay at home alone. And I know that a lot of you guys are working every day, and you don't really have a lot of options for childcare. So, and we know, I know what Debbie Atkinson's teachers can do for those kids in 5 days. So I want to hear every day I can get. So right now, we don't have a third option, but I say that with that might be subject to change, but that's all I can get. I would rather have them for 2 days than no days. Yes, sir.
Are you guys going to be having, say, FFA, FBLA band? And if so, are the kids that stay home excluded from all those?
Can you repeat the question?
Are we gonna get to have FFA, FBLA, band,
Etc.
except all the extracurriculars? As far as I know, Amy, have you heard anything different that those things are gonna be stopped? Now, the requirements I know for band are, have just come out, and it's, they're a little bit more extreme than a normal classroom. I know Mr. Hardman and Amy and Jason are working really hard to come up with a plan to be able to carry on with band. I don't know, Mr. Hardman, have you given any thought at all to virtual band?
If we have to do the blended learning thing, we will do something. We're going to try to have some programs that are offline.
Okay.
Will require the Chromebook. So we will do that as well. There's a question that people were used to when they were homeschooling. It's my understanding that I've had students in the past who homeschooled but came in for my band class.
Yes.
It's my understanding that as this set up, they won't have that option. If they're digital, they won't have the option to come for that one class. Is that correct? That's kind of my question.
They can come for one class.
They can come for one class.
They can. So
Yes.
we can do that as we have done.
Yes.
I wasn't sure. But yes, we will have digital online music instruction. You won't necessarily be playing together. It may be practicing, everybody practices the same piece at their house. And then when we can come back together, we'll put it together.
We haven't talked a lot about club meetings, and I'm just gonna, and this is just shooting from the hip. I'm thinking that a club meeting would look a whole lot like this.
Yes, it would.
It would be a situation where you got the members in and spread them way out. Because it would be groups of kids from all different grades.
All different grades, even some middle school, high school together at times.
Yes. So we're gonna try to continue those things, but it might look like this for a while. And I hope this passes through us quickly and we can return to some sense of normal. But we've just gotta work through it.
That's what he was asking, if they were digital learning students, would they just come up here for FFA meeting?
Oh, could you do that? Could you just come for FF? Was that your question?
That or is there going to be a Zoom thing or something? But yes.
Oh, I would think that a Zoom component could be added.
It could.
Yes.
I
We
mean,
haven't quite got
obviously,
there with our plans, but I'm taking notes, and I think that's a great idea.
I mean, obviously, if there's FFA and they have to be hands-on or something like that,
Right.
yes, would they be able to come up here? But if they can also do it online and still be participating in it,
Yes.
you know.
Yes, we're gonna try to make those options available.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yes,
Okay, I hope no child tests positive for COVID.
correct, yes,
But now a child does test positive.
yes.
Are you going to shut down the whole school for 14 days or just that classroom? Or are you going to then shut down and go to this, for elementary, go to Google Classroom? What are your thoughts?
Great question. I am not a medical professional, nor have I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last night. But each district is having to name a point of contact. So our district is going to name a point of contact very soon, and that person will be trained with the Arkansas Department of Health on how to respond to positive cases. I anticipate that that person will be me. Now, that's not set in stone yet, but I anticipate that that person will be me. So they will contact me and say, you have someone who's positive. Okay, at that point, it would be my job to go to grab her schedule and look at seating charts. Seating charts are going to be a huge thing for us. And right now, the requirements from the Department of Health and the CDC that are coming out are within 6 feet for 15 cumulative minutes within the last 24 hours. They want to know who, if she was positive, who was within 6 feet of her for 15 cumulative minutes in the last 24 hours. So we would try to determine that by looking at seating charts, looking at bus seating charts. How did she get to school? Did she come with her mom and dad? You know, where did she eat lunch? Who was there? You know, it's going to be a process of trying to track that down. Once we do that, if I'm the point of contact, I report that back to the health department, and they tell me if our school is, okay, that's a level 1. She's the only one that has to go home. Because everybody else was at least 6 feet away, they were outside her zone, you're good. Or you're a level 2. There may be 5 or 6 of us that were within her zone, so they may be the ones that have to go. Or, no, she was everywhere. You're going to have to send the whole class, or you're going to have to shut your school down for a few days. They're basically the ones that tell us who has to go and how we shut down.
Okay, well, you know there are going to be regular flu. I mean, kids
Yes.
are going to get a fever. Kids
Yes.
are going to have a cough.
Yes.
So are you going to think that it's going to be the COVID? And or are you going to accept it as just a 24-hour, kids stay home for 24 hours and now they come back?
We're going to rely on our healthcare professionals, and I feel like we have a great healthcare staff to help guide us through each individual situation, to ask questions. You know, do you have seasonal allergies? You know, what's going on with you? Do you have a toothache? Is that toothache what's causing your fever? You know, because a lot of Debbie's little kids get a fever over a lot.
Well, kids have allergies.
Yes.
And cough,
Yes,
you know.
yes.
So when do you determine if the class goes to the Google Classroom? If there's more than, if the whole class is shut down for the day, or if for a week?
Not our call. It's the Department of Health's call.
Okay, snow day. You go to Google Classroom for snow day? Or
Yes.
And that's K-12.
And that's K-12, yes, yes.
No more AMI.
No more AMI.
Yeah.
We know.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, if we come back to the school, will there be sports? Will there be a picture and ask about basketball?
Will there be sports, Larry?
At some point. At some point, there will be sports. Right now, golf, tennis, cross country have been cleared to start practices. They are outside. Something about being outside is, besides the spacing, has something to do with it. I guess more fresh air and stuff like that. They are working on a volleyball and Football getting okay through the Department of Health. Other sports, we followed after that. The AAA, which governs all the sports in Arkansas, has determined they are going to play and have everybody have a season. Nobody will be canceled. Now, when that season is going to start, they do not know that answer yet. They're going to have to. Practices right now are not, there's more of an individualized station kind of practices. That's all they have been allowed to do right now. Now, that's what they're trying to work on, making a plan that is acceptable. That the health department does say, yes, that's a good plan to keep everybody from coming into contact and spreading that further. But as of right now, basketball is still not allowed as far as just like a regular, what you think is still more individual stationary type stuff right now.
They will have an hour and they just like,
Yes, there'll still be the class throughout the day, but it's going to be like, until they get approved, it's just going to be like they have to do right now. Like you will spread out all over the gym, doing different drills like that. Is what we're looking to have to do right now.
Good question. Virtual classes, we're trying to get them up and running. That's why if we can hit that August 12th through 21st, if we can get all the appointments made, we're hoping to be able to go live with our first one on the 24th. Yeah.
very interesting. All right.
Yes. Yes.
Given when passing becomes available, is this a requirement that that child vaccinate for the new school?
No, sir. No, sir.
What was the question?
The question was if and when a vaccination becomes available, is it going to be mandatory for your child to come to school? And my response is no, sir. Yes. Some of the programs have audio.
Repeat the question.
Oh, if you have a digital learner, is there still going to be help for students who have reading deficiencies?
Okay, so I know Apex has the ability to read every single thing.
So
It'll read the
Apex has
questions
the
to
ability
you.
to read every single thing to them.
It'll read the answers to the questions. You know, if it's a multiple choice, it reads everything. Lincoln Learning, the ones that I have seen, do not read the questions. It will read the paragraph to you, but it does not read the questions.
Okay, so Lincoln Learning will read the text, but they won't read
The questions.
The questions to you.
What about the elementary? If we have a child that's dyslexic?
So if you have a child that's dyslexic, they're just going to have extra support at home to be able to, because I don't think there's any way for you to be able to set up what you're doing to have it read it to them.
I don't know enough yet. Our Google training's Friday, so I'm not real sure what all it does yet.
That's one of the reasons K2 is so important for the face-to-face.
Yes, yes. 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 Okay, here's the reason that we're not doing that. We're asking, are they gonna have their temperature checked prior to entering the building? Okay, we're of the belief that that's too late. That needs to happen at home before they get on the bus. You know, that we're hoping that we can make that part of everybody's routine, just their morning drill. Before you walk out the door, get the temperature, make sure everybody's good, and then go.
Next question is, for face-to-face students, does it get built in there?
Speech, ET, OT.
Yes.
speech, OT, and PT. If your student gets some of those services during the school day, I think there are two options. I think it might be the way it was in the spring, where those therapists did phone conferences with some kids, or I think there might be a situation where we can schedule time in Ms. Harris's classroom or close, where maybe we could schedule a time where kids could come in and get their therapist. Yes, for face-to-face.
In my office by yourself.
In
They
your
would
office?
be in my office by themselves. They wouldn't be in a classroom with other
Not in a
kids.
classroom. Yes. Do you have cellular service? Okay. What we need to do is we had, Mr. Dia tested one of that, and his mom was way out doing it. And he had 5 devices going on with him at one time. So, it's a T-Mobile, hotspot, and they're a lot better than I ever imagined they could be. So, what we would do is we would try it in your house. If we couldn't make that work, we might have to go to some kind of a situation where we would, make a place where they could meet, where we could meet weekly, maybe upload signs, and then download. Right. 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 We're gonna try to make one of these T-Mobile things. If that doesn't, then we're gonna explore other options to see if we can make something work. Yes. You know, have you heard anything today about recess? Okay, here's the absolute honest truth. The last thing I heard about recess, that the State Department and the Department of Health were duking it out about whether or not they thought kids should be wearing masks at recess. Which seems kind of ridiculous to me, but I'm not in charge. So we don't know yet. We don't know yet about recess. Yes, ma'am. Like open house. Yes, Mr. Keys has some good ideas about open house in a second. Open house for 5th graders.
So there were a couple options that we looked at. One option was do a virtual thing, and then we ran into not everybody has the internet. My next thing was I had a bunch of 5th grade parents say, I need my kids to at least meet their teachers so they have a familiar face that first day. So we were going to do like high school and go to the baseball field and have it out there on the baseball field. Last night, not very often, but every now and then I have a light bulb that goes off, and I thought it was really bright last night. And this is what we're looking at doing. A lot of churches, when they had church service, when you couldn't go inside and they had parking lot service, they did a radio transmission where you could pull in the parking lot, stay in your vehicle, turn your radio to whatever station we tell you to, and we'll do open house that way. You're in your vehicle, you're not out on the baseball field sweating to death like I would be, and you're going to be in your vehicle, tuned to that station. We're going to get you parked. We're going to line you up, hand out paperwork, get it back from you before you leave, but we're going to talk through the radio station, transmit that way. And we're going to do it by grade levels. So it just, to me, that's the best way for middle school. So we'll have a 5th grade time, and either that same day or a different day have a 6th grade time, same day, different grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, do it that way. I'm open to suggestions, but that light bulb was really bright last night, and I thought that's great. So we're going to try that. The teachers will also be there, and they will be talking. They will be walking around, mask up, walking around. They will hand you the paperwork, and then once you get it done, they'll come to you and collect it if you're done with it before you leave. But the teachers will be there. They will talk. They will walk around outside your car, make contact. Hey, I'm Mr. Keys, I'm your 5th grade teacher, 6th grade teacher, whatever. Here's what we're doing. So hopefully that will work out. We don't have dates set for that yet. That is on my list to do before the end of this week. And so we will get those out to you as soon as we know. I will be around, and the teachers will be around. I would prefer we do it that way. Miss Shearer, our middle school counselor, is up here, hiding behind the post. She will be around as well. I would prefer to do that, so if we did get in a situation like she explained earlier, the contact tracing, then we would have to throw that older sibling in as well, and then go to where they've been and the people they're around as well. So the teachers, Miss Shearer, myself, will be around. I'm not going to lie, y'all, I miss my kids. I'm still going to be standing out on the front steps when the buses unload. I may not get the fist bump. I may just have to stand back 6 feet. Hey, glad you're here, whatever. But I'm going to be there somewhere. And Miss Shearer will be around somewhere. And the classroom teacher will be around until they have to go to class, because they have kids going to their class after they grab breakfast. I promise you, we will get your kid to where they need to be. So we haven't talked a lot about this, but if I'm on the front steps, I will direct those kids.
And I'll be over on the car.
And Miss A will be in the car rider line, and I haven't told her this yet, but Miss Shearer will probably be somewhere around the cafeteria area. Okay? And just, if we will get them there, I promise you we'll get them there.
So you're only going to have half the kids the first day?
Yes, that is correct. We're only going to have half the kids the first day, and then half the kids the second day. So it will be a little easier to direct that and do that.
One of the yesterday, you commented that they need to be dropped off earlier than 7:45. So, and the class started at 7:55. So, how, from 5th grade to 12th grade, how is it going to get that many kids in all at once?
So we are, as educators, the prime saying is monitor and adjust. We are going to have stations set up if need be to get more kids through where they're not standing in line. As soon as the first 2 days, we're going to be telling them, as soon as you get here, you just go straight to the cafeteria if you're getting breakfast. Do that. So part of the reasoning behind the time thing is, and I hate to say it because I know it's none of you guys, but Miss Atkinson has had kids dropped off at like 7 o'clock, and her door does not unlock till 7:30 because she's not even there sometimes at 7 o'clock. And so we're just trying to keep it in that time frame, and also that helps with social distancing and stuff like that, where they come in, they go straight to where they need to be. That's something we're still working out, because, like I said, teachers, we got to have people here to be watching them. We can't just, we're responsible for them, and we can't just say, okay, they're here, So that's something we're working out and working on to try to see what we can do.
If it's a manageable number of students that we can space out enough in the cafeteria, we could probably pull it off. But if 300 people decide they want to do it, we'll never be able to get them all in there.
I don't have a problem on my own hours, but I know that there's some that are that
Right.
like city jobs,
Right. Yeah.
So kind of with all this, and I hope I'm not saying something I shouldn't, kind of with all this, it would be awesome if this was a one-size-fits-all across the state.
Yeah.
It's not. And each district has been given the task to figure out what works best for them. It's not this is set in stone, this is it from day one till May, whatever. It is not that. We, as an administration team, could have sent you plans every time we made one, and there for about a 3-week stretch, 2-week stretch, you would have got something every day, maybe twice a day. That's how much it's changed. I mean, so for us to say this is it and this is what we're doing from day one till day 178, that's impossible for us to do. So we're more than willing, I will, I'm sure they are too, to adjust as needed. Okay.
Are there going to be repercussions for students that refuse to do this 6-foot distancing? I mean, are they going to get their name on the board if they used to be, each other's faces, is there going to be punishment for that?
I think what we're going to try to do is, the question was, are there going to be punishment for kids who are, getting up in each other's face, or what we're going to try to do is educate and remind and try to put some procedures in place and practice a lot and just try to get to the place where we can be as safe as we possibly can. I mean, eventually, if you had I suppose if we had a kid who was just, would not ever follow directions, I would imagine that would be like if they wouldn't follow directions about something else, and eventually there would be some consequences. Yes, ma'am.
If the kid has PE, are they required to wear a mask during the PE when they're doing all of their stuff?
I'm under the understanding no. Is that what you're under the understanding, Larry?
Last thing I saw, they were having to go from 6 to 12 feet during physical activities.
That they were allowed to take their mask off?
Take it off, yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes. Right. Right.
He would not be able to.
Right. Yeah, there's some medical exemptions. That was one of the things that the governor did in place. And there are some medical exemptions for kids. I would think they would be able to get covered. Yes. No, I would think just pick one of them. If you have a sibling group, and some of them are in the A through L, and some of them are in the M through Z, does it matter which day they come? No, just pick one. Yes. Just contact your building principal, and they'll make a plan for when we can get that done. Yes, sir.
Is it involved in, providing
hard for even us. Miss Atkinson and I, she was when we were delivering food at the end of the year, I had to go out and draw a line because she has real trouble with, she wants to get right up on the car when we're doing food. So yes, we're making plans to put X's or pause or something down so kids can see it, because even adults have trouble with judging, well, how far is this week? Yes.
So back to your question you asked about today, if you decided to send them, should you take them out or whatever. So one thing we've talked about a little bit on that is we're educators, we know how kids are. What we do not want to happen with this is you take them home, you're doing a digital platform, they've gone 2 or 3 weeks, haven't done any work, and then all of a sudden you want to bring them back here. Okay? It is vitally important for them to keep up at home so when they come back, they are not behind when they get back. That's the flip side of what you asked. I understand that triggered another light bulb in my head, so I had to throw that out there. But it is vitally important for the kids that are staying home to do digital, keep up and not do anything for 3 or 4 weeks and then decide, well, I want to go back to school, because then we're looking at them being behind, us having to spend time catching them up and doing different things. So that is something else, some more information that may come out later about how are we going to bring them back if they haven't done anything at home. So that is something else that just triggered something, and if you guys have more to add, then I don't.
Yes. No, you're fine. Don't be sorry.
On the classrooms for the digital classrooms for the elementary, like Jacob had a class with a special ed teacher. Will she be uploaded on that also for him to be going on?
She'll be in contact.
Okay, good. Thanks.
Yes. Good question. Contact for special education students. Yes. That's one thing, last spring was kind of a trial run for us, and we got to see some things that we thought, okay, that kind of ran okay. Then we got to see some things that we thought, we need to do better with that. Last year was kind of unique in that, 3rd through 10th grade has their testing in April. So teachers try really hard to get all the standards covered in the first 3-9 weeks. So that last quarter was enrichment or remediation usually for us, and that's a little easier to do through a digital platform than brand new learning. And this year it's going to be brand new learning for the kids. A little different.
There.
Where?
No, I was going to say, anybody? No, I haven't.
Oh, okay.
Give her the mic. If they have any additional, I was going to say,
If you have some, specific questions, or you don't want to know, you think I wish I would have asked that, or whatever, you can email us, send us a message on our Facebook page, or call the school. I've already talked to several people, so sometimes it's easier when we talk for your specific child or the specific thing. So I know Jason and Amy and I would be happy to talk to any of you if you have still have questions after this. So just reach out and call us.
And there are a lot of case-by-case things.
Yes, there are a lot of case-by-case things, just a little different scenario with several kids. If we've answered all the questions, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for, number one, coming to this meeting to find out what's going on. Number two, the hugest, biggest, most outrageous thank you for calmly asking us questions. And it really didn't feel like you guys came in here and you were mad and you wanted to stomp somebody. That you just wanted to come and you wanted to find out what was going on, and you wanted to calmly ask questions. And you have no idea how much we appreciate that at this point. A lot of great things have been going on at Bergman for so many years. And I told somebody this the other day, I really do feel like our best days are yet to come. if we can get through this, man, there's going to be some great stuff on the other side of this. Thank you all so much for coming. Does anybody have anything else?
I do.
Yes.
If you know for a fact that they're gonna be completely online, and you wanna make your appointment now, I am ready.
Oh, wow. Miss Harris said, if you know for a fact tonight, you want to do digital learning completely online, we're going to set her up over here, and you can come and sign up to make an appointment. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate you guys.